right, the directions call for that vacuum booster to be removed. See the bracket right there? And if I zoom in right there, there it is. Okay, so I just undid two long bolts, 10 millimeter head bolts with 10 millimeter nuts. Kind of a pain in the ass, but she's sitting there out of the way. All right, look at, there's the steering, the little steering shaft knuckle. It's attached to the big bore. Okay, turn it again. All right, now look at, there we go. Now I want to talk about this. So what the original installers did is they ground the shit out of it and beat it. We went to a hardware store and bought an M10 button bolt. Perfect, Mike.
Feels smooth.
Yeah, smooth as can be. Very nice. Looks good.
Right, so factory bolts.
Just a little update here. You can lift that bracket off and show everybody. There's the PSC pump.
What we should do is a side-by-side with the idler and this side-by-side. Because it's replacing an idler that's already on the motor.
Beautiful billet aluminum. High quality machined bracket right there. Thing's gorgeous.
Look, it's TIG welded.
Yeah, really nice.
It's bolted and then welded. So they must align it in a jig or a fixture.
Perfect.
Bolt it up. And
so that's getting prepped. And then over here, I just used the breaker bar. See the belt tensioner right down there? See the 1/2 inch opening? Turn it this way, clockwise. It compresses that little piston, and you can see that I have the belt off that idler arm. In order to do it though, I had to undo one of these. I had to undo one of the bolts for this bracket right here that was in the way. You see it right here? So that I could get in there on the tensioner for that vacuum pump booster. All right, so next thing I'm going to be working on is the alternator. Jeep is so strange what they do here. So you've got like 4 bolts we had to take out. They're all different sizes. Like this one's a 16 millimeter head, then there's 2 15s, and then there's a 13 at the bottom. All right, so happily, can you just pull that belt off of there, please? Get that belt's coming out. Yeah, just get it off of the... Okay, right down there is the idler arm. See it right there? That's coming off. Yep, Mike's taking that off, and that's where
I should have been Vanna White.
That's where, once that's removed, you can see
Vanna
it right
White's
there.
lucky she got the job she's had for 40 years.
Yeah, for 40, 50 years. Anyway, that's where the power steering
I'd even
pump
wear
is
a
gonna
dress.
bolt on right there. So yeah. There's the idler arm.
No, there's not. No, I was wrong.
3.
There's 3. I thought.
So 1, 2, 3. Very clever. You can see exactly why that bracket just is going to fit perfectly there. Nice for the power steering pump.
So I've already got these 2 tightened with blue Loctite.
Yep.
To 18 foot-pounds of man torque.
Great.
All right, these can go away. So I don't want these to loosen up.
Give me a bolt.
Check the belt routing.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now. So the alternator is back in. We're gonna get the 1/2 inch driver, close the tensioner, get the belt on the PSC. Looking good there. Around the compressor. Yep. I like it. All right, so there's the. Oh, that's got to be. That hasn't been tightened yet,
no,
right?
We haven't tightened the fittings.
So here's the cooler right here. Okay. Okay, so here we are. So you can see the cooler right there. Kind of a poor design. They give you tech screws for the bottom, and of course the winch is in the way. So right now we're undoing the bolts for the winch to try to slide it out of the way to get a drill in there so that we can tech screw the bottom holes, and then that cooler assembly will be all secure. I want to talk about this. This is kind of clever. So right here is where the electric / hydraulic OEM pump motor was. PSC gives you the main reservoir. You'll see it'll use the stock bolts, and this will bolt up. Then you have a remote filling reservoir right here. So this will end up sitting up inside the engine compartment, and it'll go down onto one of these barb fittings. So that's how you'll actually add your power steering fluid. Another step in the right direction. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in. They give you tech screws for the bottom. See, they get fired into that steel piece. So our cooler is all mounted, but in order to get a drill in there, and even the 90 degree, we couldn't get it with a 90. We had to undo the winch, lift the big worn 12,000 pound winch up out of the way. But that's really good. So now we can start thinking about our lines coming from the reservoir. You can see it right there where I'm pointing, okay? And that'll come up and in. Then obviously out on this side, over through here, and down into the steering box. All right, you can see just hand tight going into the cooler. A short line that'll come around and end up securing right here on the reservoir. Again, this is just all sitting there mocked up loose for now. I'm shining the light. See that connection port right there on the power steering pump? That's coming off the back of the reservoir. So we're gonna set that into position and get that, try to get that started. Here's a case where PSC kind of dicks you. The hose is attached. They give you pre-cut hoses to the power steering pump, and look it's 1 inch off. And these hoses have no forgiveness. So I think Cooter's got more hose, but what a shame, because in order to get this started, you have to reach your hand all the way behind here like that to get on the power steering pump. Had this hose been 1 inch longer, we would have been there. So kind of frustrated right now to go through all of that and then have to take it off and cut a piece of hose that's 1 inch longer. Okay, so we had to cut this. This is where we got to get a longer piece of this hose right here. Here it is. It's made by Parker. It's nice, but they do not give you enough hose. Definitely a PSC oversight, really. And it kind of hurts you because now you got to track down some of that hose for like 1 inch, 1.5 inches of hose. Okay, looking at the pump, you can see where it goes right there. And we had it all in, but it's just no way is it long enough. Which is sad because it took a lot of effort to get it on there.
There's one down in right next to DJ's shop.
All right, so a lot of work. We're calling it for today. We got to get the different hose for the reservoir, a longer hose that goes to the pump. Meanwhile, the alternator's all set, the vacuum booster, the belt, I mean, that's all really good. We got a nice spot right here for the small reservoir that you actually put the power steering fluid in. Will get mounted right here. Then it'll flow down into the reservoir that'll sit right here. Yeah, there it is right there. So that's gonna end up sitting just like that. Okay, so that's good, and those hose lengths are fine. Over on the driver's side, coming out of the cooler into the box, that hose, believe it or not, is a little too long. So Mike will end up cutting this hose, putting this fitting on the cooler, then getting an accurate measurement, cutting it and hooking that up. This goes through the grill. Here it is right here. And then it goes right into that hole. This is a plastic plug. So we basically unthreaded the plug and comes with the fittings right here. Down in the bottom, right here, if you can see my finger, these are the 2 lines that'll go to the RAM right here. They have plugs on them right now. So a really good day. A lot of demo, some challenges, some surprises even maybe. Oh good, you tighten this thing up?
Yeah.
Good, that thing was driving me crazy. All right. Yep. All right, that's it.
No, that's fine. I got to go hit the shower because I got to leave for work in 15 minutes.
So it was a really good day. Mike's on the phone with Dave. Dave's gonna get a new Steer Smarts nut that holds the pitman arm on. We're gonna get a longer piece of hose from the power steering pump down to the reservoir. Hey, look, you got to expect these things. This is a heavily modified Jeep with a lot of different products on it, and sometimes to make everything play nice, you got to make some adjustments. But that's going to be a wrap for today. Good day. Maybe the system is about halfway, maybe a little more than halfway installed. So pretty happy with what we got done today. All right.